So I've never really enjoyed narrative games very much, but I would argue that Dwarf Fortress is the ultimate narrative game. Since it's procedurally generated, it allows you to produce stories that are yours alone. And it gives me stories that I can tell about what happened in my fortress. And my favorite story is about a time where I first tried to use magma to smelt metal, and I screwed it up really badly. In order to use magma to smelt metal, you have to first find a location with a magma source and then dig a channel for that magma to flow. And then over top of that channel, you have to build your smelter. And so I was using one of my mining dwarfs to dig the channel, and the magma was flowing. But while it was flowing, I realized I hadn't created stairs at the end of the channel to allow my mining dwarf to escape. And the magma was flowing, and I was desperately trying to make the stairs, but I couldn't do it in time, and the magma caught up to him, and he died. And this dwarf had a dog, and I guess the dog was so loyal that it kept, returning to the spot where its master died, which made me very sad. But what was even more heartbreaking was the fact that that dwarf also had a wife, and that wife was my best engraver. And eventually she produced a masterwork engraving, and I went to check out what it was. And you know what she carved? She carved an image of a burning dwarf, which broke my heart. But also, it's just insane that this game has that much. I don't even know if it's programmed to do that kind of thing on purpose, or if this was just a fluke or what. But the fact that there's so much detail in there that this kind of thing can occur is crazy. And I've told that story to so many people, and that convinced a lot of people to try the game. And I had to then teach them how to play it, because back then it was quite difficult to learn. And now when I play other narrative games, they feel kind of hollow, because I'm not going to go and tell my friend about the time where I beat Sephiroth and saved the world. Because everyone who plays Final Fantasy has that story. But in my fortress, who knows what crazy things are going to happen. And that's what kept me coming back. And also because losing is fun.
Welcome to the Dwarf Fortress 20th Anniversary Celebration Stream. I'm Eurus Tanya.
And I'm Eurus Alexandra, and we're here to honor the legacy of the deepest simulation game ever created, and its creators, Tarn and Zach Adams, along with everyone else who helped make the game possible during these last 20 years.
Yeah, the first build of Dwarf Fortress was uploaded in 2006, which is before we got involved, to be totally clear. Kitfox came in around 2018 after I'd become friends with Tarn, and we were put in contact originally by a friend of ours named Keppa, who, if you want to check out his work, he made Death Road to Canada, you might remember, and now he's making something called Space Dingus, so go check that out. But today, we're here to think about what's going on the last 20 years, and like Alexander said, it's not just Bay 12, it's not just Kitfox. There's been a lot of different people that have helped make the game the legend that it is. There have been millions of players and millions of stories, and we're not going to go through every forum post and go through every anecdote, obviously. But we put our heads together and we thought about what's the best way to showcase all these different kinds of people and to really just have a silly dwarf time together. So thank you for watching today, or I guess if you're watching later, hello, you missed it. But yeah, if you're watching today, you can also go check out the game on Steam. We're going to be telling you about a lot of different news items and collector's items, and hopefully you'll enjoy watching Tarn and Zach. So what are we doing today, Alexandra? What's the plan?
We've got a lot planned today, Tanya. We've got an amazing show planned. First, Tarn.
I'm so shocked.
Yes.
I had no idea.
It turns out we planned this.
Wow.
Tarn and Zach will actually be playing the first ever build of the game that was published way back in 2006. It's the earliest build they could possibly find. It's been a long time since they've played that build, so I'm sure they're going to be surprised themselves at what they find. And hopefully we get some behind the scenes knowledge that they're going to be sharing with us as well.
Yeah, I've never played that build myself, so I'll be curious to see what they think about it.
And then after that will be the Beyond Quality Awards. So Tarn and Zach will be giving out awards to fellow game devs and members of the community who have had an impact over the years. And so we're going to be celebrating the legacy of Dwarf Fortress and honoring those along the way.
That sounds really interesting to me because it was my idea, and also because I actually really love the Dwarf Fortress community. I mean, I know a lot of work has been put into it through the years. Like Tarn put in a bunch of work first, and then Kitfox. But Alexandra, you yourself, for the past 5 years, like you've been nurturing this community and seeing its various fragments and splinters and trying to keep the peace, and it's been a lot of work. I don't know if you have any thoughts about how it's changed over the last 5 years. Anything you've seen or experienced?
Well, I think one of my goals when I first started was trying to unite the Dwarf Fortress community among all those different factions. And I think since then, we've had a lot of exciting coming together of the community, whether it be learning more about the extended team and introducing Neo Rice is Good to everybody, or the mod jam that we just did and trying to get old school modders and new school modders together. And the Dwarf Fortress Kitfox channel, the Dwarf Fortress channel in the Kitfox Discord has also been amazing. We have a modding community there. We have people always willing to help. So it's grown to be quite amazing to see.
People probably don't want to hear us talk anymore. They probably want to hear from Tarn and Zach. We'll come back probably towards the end to wrap it all up. But happy 20th anniversary, happy 20th birthday to Dwarf Fortress. We're so proud and so honored that we could help Dwarf Fortress be the amazing work that it is. And I hope what everyone comes away from this is remembering that it's not just one person. I feel like our culture really tries to distill down every game, even games by 1,000 people, they try to say it's by one person. And Dwarf Fortress is no exception to that. There's been a lot of misconceptions that Tarn is the only person who worked on Dwarf Fortress, and that's never been true, first of all. A lot of people want to forget about Zach, and that's crazy to me. But hopefully today you'll learn about a bunch of other people too, and get to love and know Dwarf Fortress a little bit better. So here we go.
Happy
20th anniversary.
Happy birthday celebrations.
Woo!
Hey everybody, it's me and Tarn, my brother, co-creator of Dwarf Fortress, ready to play the very first version of Dwarf Fortress ever created. This looks like 2002 to 2006, so I'm guessing probably it's all the way back in 2006. Welcome.
Yeah, August 8th came out, version 21.93. There was a version
years ago.
There was a version that came out 2 days after this, so we are playing with fire. But here we go. Are you all ready to create a world? And then we can just start yammering on.
Let's create a world yammer. There we go. This is ASCII. This is the original Dwarf Fortress. Before Steam.
There it is. Beautiful mountainside. Age of Myth is initializing. And we have some elves. We have some goblins. We have some elves. We have some dwarves. It's just popping between the different sites. And it should slow down now. There's some humans at a bay. And some goblins on a mountainside. And an evil swamp. And then goblins. There's a good forest there. We're almost done. Human town. And finalizing all these sites. So yeah, that's there it is.
It changed color so that it was supposed to look like an ancient tapestry, given the colors we had to work with in order to fit our theme. Because like we're using what our computer had in 1986. And we were going with that. We originally had that 3D Slaves to Armon game.
But this is just black on brown. There's black on brown, and here we go. 11,000 individual creatures to offload to the disk. Now this is before I knew how to set the frames so that it wouldn't print a frame for every single time. So it's going to print 11,000 frames. So it'll take 2 minutes to do this. The new version has some definite quality of life improvements. But
And not to jump scare anyone, but I am also here, Alexandra, going to be, I guess, the newbie perspective, but also to just like hang out and talk about 20th anniversary Dwarf Fortress stuff while we wait for this to load. This is what it was all about. Was it not?
Believe it or not, like computer games didn't look like this 20 years ago. We actually were being retro when we created this.
Yeah, behind our time. Yeah. But but it was cool because all of these people are real, and that was a new thing. Like having these saved to the disk, like the most that had been done up to this point was like NetHack Bones files. This is before like the Mordor games. This is before any of those things that saved anything. And 8,700 people, and all being saved to the disk.
Yeah,
and you can
did this version even have Legends mode? I think it did.
It must have. Yeah, we'll see in a second. It definitely had adventure mode because I remember that was the big kind of secret. We didn't say a word about Legends mode before the release. We were talking about this release 2 years before it happened, and but we snuck adventure mode out there. Now I'm going to click start playing. And here we go.
I should point out on this title screen here. The game used to be called Slaves to Armok, God of Blood, Chapter 2 Dwarf Fortress.
That's right. Yeah, from the original Drag Slave game, yeah.
Our original game was called Slaves to Armok, God of Blood. And Dwarf Fortress was actually just a project of Tarn's that gained steam because one person put it, it was going to be a comet hitting the industry because
it was so much easier to write it when it was in text mode, like Armok. We had no business doing a 3D game at all, and Dwarf Fortress text game much easier to do all of our dreams, all of our hopes and dreams here.
It was supposed to be a lot like adventure mode. Actually, adventure mode was supposed to be. That's what the original Slaves to Armok was more like. It was a RPG. It was not a base builder like Dwarf Fortress.
I don't know
we saw the promise when we get started here. We did have Legends mode. There we go. See, there's like those 11,000 things don't really have much basis in the game itself. It's just created this history that you can look at in Legends mode.
I don't even remember if you could find them in adventure mode at this time. Like adventure mode was more about visiting the old forts and stuff. I don't even know what'll happen if I press that button, but let's just go to fort mode. Let's just see what it's importing the world. No progress bars. Progress bars were a thing of the future. Okay, so should we prepare for the journey carefully? Why not? Let's see what it looked like. Got some peasants. Now, you might notice that they're all called peasants, and if I make a miner, it doesn't call them a miner on the left. That was a quality of life thing from a couple decades after. So many quality of life things came later. Why not do that? And I don't know. What do we need? I don't know. Tab to change modes. So no idea what the modes are, but here's some items: iron picks, iron battle axes, some seeds to plant mushrooms, some seeds to plant some cloth plants, mandrill meat. So we had all the animals. That's the thing that's important about Dwarf Fortress.
We have lots of real world animals there, but like back in the past when we were living just off of donations, we actually made we actually had an animal sponsorship drive where the person the people that gave us the most money got their favorite animal and added to the game. And Tarn is really afraid of bees, and the guy who gave us the most money wanted bees to be in Dwarf Fortress.
That's no fun. Everyone wanted bees because they were mercenary. They wanted a new industry in the game, and bees provided an industry. Sinister freezing sounds like a very dangerous embark. Because it's letting me choose the embark places, but unlike the modern version you can embark anywhere you want. You can resize your fort. Here you cannot resize your fort, and you're only given 50 embark locations. So there's this freezing sinister one. There's an untamed one. There's a terrifying woodland called the Violent Beak of Chucking. You want to see how we do in the Violent Beak of Chucking?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Embark. Okay. Now here's the text. It used to be it's a whole screen rather than just a little pop-up window. You have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. All the same text. Nestled beneath a sheer cliff face overlooking the wilds, your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of the king and all of Udrumakashimeled. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook. Provide for your dwarves. You're expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the alligators get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. Allenmistum, Moth Portals. Strike the earth. So all in the original version here. Strike the earth. Now if I pause the game and I press the question mark, you can see right in the original version, before anyone got their hands on the game, losing is fun. It was right in the manual. It's not a community motto. It's just a Dwarf Fortress motto. This manual is terrible, so we'll depart the manual now. And here we are. Look, it's the cliff face. You dig to the right, river on the left. See the river? It goes up and down. Trees nicely spaced. Trees, single trees.
Like, I don't remember this version, but if you go to the left, I think you could go off to infinity.
Oh, that's right. See, watch this. Yeah, this is new. So here's the forest, but I can keep going left. I could keep going left, and it just lets me go on into the woods forever. I think there might be a message if you could do this for like 5 minutes, but we're not going to do it for 5 minutes for the sake of the stream. But see that? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I think you can go off to the left forever, but then when you started going back to the right, it actually brought everything back fast.
Yeah, and here's and see how it knows right from left, and if you go to the right, I gotta find my dwarves again because I don't think I can press F1 to go to. If you go to the right, it says a different message if you go to the right than if you go to the left when it's making fun of you for scrolling for a long time. But we don't have that luxury. Oops, I keep pressing the wrong button. But yeah, so here's the original game. No help, no nothing. And well, the ice is frozen. People are used to that, so you can walk on that and die at your leisure.
You know what? I don't think the Steam version has the number of idlers. If you see down there in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, it's highlighted number of idlers. We got rid of that in the Steam version because an idle dwarf is usually taking care of themselves at the tavern or going to pray at a temple. It just stopped meaning what it means in this version, which is you're wasting time.
Yes.
It's like actually idle. And there we go. We're going to strike the earth. Why wouldn't I make a little 3x3 room?
There is no Z-axis. That came years later.
Yeah, this has that weird stuff with the fluids. Kind of understand how to go under a bridge, but not really. It's sort of broken. dig to the right, you get the seasonal flooding river. Oh yeah, and it blows out the side too when I hit the river. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Well, we should hit the river early on then, shouldn't we? Let's just go to the right for a while. Oh yeah, you can't use shift to move the cursor. I kept trying to do it. No, we have to just walk on over. I'm sorry, y'all. As far as I remember. But look, they're an industrious dwarf. They keep digging. Do I need to make a stockpile? P. Let's make a stone stockpile for little dwarves to use. And there, look at them go. Look at the little dwarves go. Stacking stone up and digging. This is
the letters that represent the animals, or a dragon and a dog, are the same letter.
Yeah, horse and a mule this time. Yeah, horse and a mule. Now, what could we tell about this horse? In the new version, you get all kinds of insight into the horse. Here, there's nothing on this screen, nothing on the inventory. This animal can't work. Well, it's a horse. It should be able to work. And it's got its body parts. That's it. You don't get an insight into like it's being bothered by the rain or anything else about it. You can't even look at its description, as far as I know. This is maybe they didn't even have descriptions. Did they not even have descriptions? Did you write those later? I don't remember if they even have descriptions. What about a dwarf, though? A dwarf, you can look at them. They've got labor, work dog. It's called work dogs. It's not other animals. It's just dogs, and it literally says dogs. That's crazy. And they come in a squad. They're in their own like squad, the last crazy boats, and it's like not even a thing you can do or do anything about. They're just in last crazy boats. They have owned objects 3. Important to have that on its own screen by itself, I think. Owned objects 3 doesn't even tell you what they are. There it is, but you go here, and here we go. This is similar to the old version and the current version. You know, they've been quite content, satisfied at work. They like jet, amber, cave spider, silk, maces, armor, cloaks, tables, large gems, and dogs for their loyalty. You know, no music or anything like that. None of that exists. He needs alcohol to get through the working day, though, as a staple of the original version. So that's great. That's great. It's like that's important work. I keep pressing escape and getting to that screen. Sorry, it's going to keep happening because if you try and leave a menu by pressing escape, it takes you to like a settings menu. But we have a nice room now. The miner's getting more experience. It tells you about it down at the ticker at the bottom. The ticker at the bottom is that's old version stuff too, right? We don't have ticker in the, but there's no way to click announcement alerts or anything. It's just the ticker, and I think you can press A. Yeah, A for announcements. It's spacebar to get out of menus. That's so sick. So press A. You want to press escape to leave? Sorry, that takes you to this menu. But you press spacebar, the pause button, to get out of the menus. I was so hooked on that for so many years. I was like, oh yeah, just use the pause button. But yeah, here it is. Here's the dwarfs going to the right. We're trying to drown ourselves, as is our way. But yeah, this is cool, isn't it? I mean, this is kind of what we envisioned when we first thought to do the game, right?
I'm actually kind of surprised at the amount of stuff that is in here. It's like it is a complete game. It's like you know, and we were asking for money for this. It's like,
well, we paid $800 the first month. People supported this. It's a great game. Look at them go. No, we had we thought of this. So this came from this game Mutant Miner that was just this weird turn-based piece of garbage. So we decided to make it real time. So you can have a bunch of people running around without having to like fiddle with their controls or anything. And Zach and I were on the phone for 3 days, just basically all day for 3 days. Once we thought of this idea to make a kind of a real-time digging game, and
because we saw that 20 years from then, it would be a big success.
I think we were just excited about making a game.
I think it was it was the moment that, because we always wanted to make an RPG kind of like a NetHack or Moria or a game like from back in the day. But we and we tried with the graphics, but the graphics were like they just sucked up all the effort. But we found out that we could do this in ASCII, and it would allow us to add so many things so quickly. We just got really excited about this, and then we had a plan. We had this plan. We were living on opposite sides of the country at the time. And we were calling, we had this phone call about this game, and then it was we had a complete version or a complete idea of what this game should be, and it was actually you would create a maze like in the mountain, and then you would get destroyed. That's what losing is fun was for. You were actually, in order to win the game or to play the game, you actually had to lose. And adventure mode was actually supposed to come after this. Like you couldn't start adventure mode. You can only do that. I don't know if that's actually like how it ended up, but it was supposed to be that, you know, you play a fortress, you have a dungeon, you've made a dungeon, you lose, and then you adventure mode into the dungeon that you created, and you get the treasures, and that's like NetHack, except you've created your own dungeon. So that was really exciting for us at the time. And yeah, there's all sorts of problems came with that. Like once we added the economy, like dwarves were renting rooms inside their own fortress, which was terrible. But the whole idea behind that was actually that they would have money, and the only reason they were supposed to have money is to leave it in various places in the fortress. And those would be like the treasures in like Angband or Moria or NetHack or whatever. It would be that would be the point of the game. And then we just got overexcited about it, and
yeah, so the artifacts you made would be found not just by your adventurers, but like adventurers in eras in the future.
Yeah.
And yeah, it got all the way to the point where you'd be like playing an archaeologist like a NetHack. And like the archaeologist, that's based on Indiana Jones, right? Because of the whip and the hat that you have in NetHack. And you'd be going to find artifacts inside of your fortress. But I mean, what did Indiana Jones have to do to get artifacts?
Kill some Nazis.
You had to kill some Nazis. We were going to have Nazis that you killed in Dwarf Fortress when you got the artifacts. I mean, they got to go, right? I mean, that's the theme of a modern civilization 70 years ago. Nazis got to go. And yeah, so you're going to be whipping Nazis and then getting artifacts. There'd be like evil archaeologists trying to, like Belloc or whatever, right? And you have to whip them too. And then, was there an ending? Do you remember what happened after you like got the artifacts and stuff? And oh, the keep, dude, the keep. It went worse than that. It went even worse. There's this old book, and they got turned into a movie, The Keep. It's like Sticky and McKellen and Scotland and shit. It's a movie. It's a reputable, but it's fucked up too because it's about Nazis in this old castle, and they break into the wall and they start haunted by this demon necromancer guy that wants to escape by taking Nazi meat and building his own body like Hellraiser. And we were like, yeah, that's cool. We should do something like that. Do you remember what we were actually going to do with it though?
Maybe we should bring this back to the next 20 years of Dwarf Fortress. It'll be like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, okay, we're working on magic now, so why wouldn't we have necromancers building meat bodies and having a preternatural interest in dwarven artifacts? I think that was so weird.
Our dream, our 20-year dream will finally come true.
Yeah, I think basically what that says is that in our 20s we were, well, it's still like now, we're inspired by the most banal things, right? That's just how it works. Yep.
Oh, we got it. We finally hit the water.
A miner has struck one and flee the mines. You haven't seen that sentence if you've been playing Dwarf Fortress since like 2009. This is a very old school sentence. And that poor miner there is in danger because watch this. Okay. Oh no, you're drowning, you're getting pushed, you're drowning, you're getting pushed, you're drowning, you're getting pushed, and made it. The flood has peaked. There's an announcement you don't see anymore. I'd love to get that back, but look at this. Look at this. Now we got to wait for that water to go away. But there's that water there is dangerous. It's got cave crocodiles and other crap is going to come through there. This is where the game where you place a well. I don't even know if it's in this version. You place a well. There's no z-axis, so it's just a well. It goes to like places unknown, and things can crawl up out of there, and it just generates them. Like maybe we should make a well, but that's gonna be hard because we got to make.
The other thing is that the river actually, it's not just a danger. You actually need that river to flood because that's a farm in this version of Dwarf Fortress.
It's literally the only one farm.
You have to have the river flood you in order to have dirt to have crops, or else you'll die.
Yeah, I'm making rock blocks. I've got a carpenter's shop, so I'm going to cut down some wood, make a bucket. Then I can make a well, and then once we have a well, then we're inviting additional disasters. The floods become receding. What a nice message. All of this is really old school stuff. These messages only lasted a few years, and then they were superseded by our dreams of doing 3D labyrinths and stuff, which was cool for its part. But this has a huge charm that was never really recaptured. Someday though, coming back at you. Look at that mud. Now if I press, is it the K button? K. Muddy floors. Look at these muddy floors. Muddy dolomite floor. Now that means I can only place farms along this little hallway here.
Because you didn't plan ahead and make a big...
Because I didn't plan ahead and make a big room. So I'm already a loser. But I can build a... Where's the farm plot, y'all? Farm plot, P. I can make a little farm plot here. Oh, God, I didn't know how to size it.
Yeah. I mean, we should probably mention that, like, you see all these letters.
Oh, shit.
You see all these letters, and this is just keyboard. There was no mouse.
Yeah, I've been using the keyboard here, using my ancient muscle memories. There is no mouse support here. No mouse support to be found. Build. Now press P. Now is everybody saw? Yeah, you use UMKH key cluster. Look at me resizing with the UAMA. Okay, there we go. Perfect. The perfect farm plot. There it is. Yeah, no, it's beautiful, beautiful. And I bought 5 seeds. That's six tiles to that plot. I can plant everything. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no, I had 10 seeds because I got plump helmet spawn and I got pigtails. Well, that's still good. I'm still doing great. And this is what Zach was talking about. You could go over here and you just mine all this out now. You're like, I need a beautiful. Oh, what happened? Those mining designations.
Does the river only flood once? I don't remember.
Yeah. It floods once either once a season or once a year. Once a season maybe, but not winter. I don't know, something like that. And you need to make an actual bridge to dig any further at all. Do I have enough wood to make a bridge? Probably not. I need to cut down some of these trees again. This is probably the worst playthrough in a long time that anyone's ever done of this game. But and we're all going to starve to death. This game is not forgiving. We're just going to die.
So we should spoil it then because we're not going to make it. Yeah. So like what ends up happening is you get across this river and then there's a chasm that you have to make 3 bridges to get to the end. First there's the river, then there's the chasm, then there's the magma river.
Yeah.
In order to get past the magma river, you have to invent steel, which is one of the hardest to do in Dwarf Fortress. And like today it is, and because you have to go through so many steps. And in this one, you have to make steel because you have to cross the only way to get to the end is to cross the magma river. But you can do cool stuff like because it's all 2-dimensional. You could dig the magma river. You can dig a chasm from the magma river that flows. I think you might have had to make certain materials in order to make the magma flow through without just destroying everything. But what you could do, because the chasm has all these monsters that come out of it, you can direct the lava into the chasm and then fry them all. And then
I wonder, was that in the original release? Because I'm looking at the D here. Did we add that like right after? Because it had to be in 2D, but where's the channel option?
No. There was no channel. You had to.
How did you do it? How'd you do it with like
walls? You had to build. I think you actually had to build You had to dig it out, and then you had to build steel walls, maybe.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no screw pumps, right? This is before
there's no
screw
pumps.
pumps. Oh, there's aqueducts. There's aqueducts, which is
Yeah, it was aqueduct. That's what you had to do. You had to build an aqueduct.
Aqueducts, because the aqueducts don't exist in the current Dwarf Fortress. You just build them, right? If you want an aqueduct, you build an aqueduct tile by tile. You don't have a special option for it.
You
So
probably
yeah,
build a steel aqueduct. It'd be pretty long too, I think.
yeah. Can we build a bridge now? Bridge, chalk. Oh yeah. Why is it? Oh, is a bridge? Oh, do you have to select the? No, okay. What am I even doing? Place for P. Okay. Does it not want me to do that?
There was no labor in this one, was there? Like the VPN thing you had to
I
press.
think so. Let me look at a dwarf. Let me look at this carpenter. So here's Sodo Ficodarak. The language is pretty much the same. I think it has fewer words, but there's an L. VPL. Here it is.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
The legendary VPL screen where you can like select their individual labors. You do this with work details now in Dwarf Fortress. This is very cumbersome.
This VPL stuff, this labor thing, I always thought was the worst idea in Dwarf Fortress. It was so terrible, and a lot of games have copied it.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons DFhack exists. I think.
Yeah, they copy what I believe is the worst design of Dwarf Fortress, and everybody thinks it's such a great idea. It's funny.
Yeah, we do our very best out here. I'm gonna make a bed for somebody. We are making a bridge. Oh God, he has to walk back. Oh no, it's so slow in this version. Look at them go. I'm gonna go make a bridge. Yeah, so this is, I mean, it's as exciting as it can be, right? This is the beginning of the game. You can do things like you can dig out these rough-hewn parts of the cliff so that it's just a flat, solid color, and then you can start engraving. I think we had engravings. Yeah, detail stone is what it's called. So I can detail the stone here, like this.
You have not made any rooms for the dwarves. I don't remember if there's zones. I mean, like I'm pretty sure there are.
Oh no. So we have a wooden bed, so I can make a bed, and oh gosh, it's so hard to control. Quit bed. Select oaken bed placement. There we go. I got a bed ready to be placed. But you need a door to make a room. So did I make a door? Probably not. So I gotta make a door. Then they place the door, and then you spread out from the bed. It's those rooms. It's rooms only. I think it's only rooms.
This version was because that's like really advanced. It's funny how much stuff was already in this very first version.
Yeah, we have this screen. We have the screen. So Z, which I normally do is.
Look, you need a broker. We had nobles back then. That's funny.
Brokers and bookkeepers. The kitchen can do the cook and brew thing. I mean, there's some things in here. I don't know what other.
What have we been doing for 20 years? All this stuff is already here.
Yeah, nothing at all. There's the military command chain screen. It's called. There's stockpiles, standing orders. Those are all there. There's the units. And
what about military squads? That's also one of our worst design.
So apparently, and I didn't remember this at all. In this version, everybody has a different squad at the beginning, but you can do a promotion thing. So the miner's promoted over the carpenter. Oh God, it's manual. Oh God. Now it's all one squad, the last crazy boats. And your space is done promoting. Now you can view the squad. V, that does nothing. The V, for the record, the V button does nothing. A activates the squad, and W looks at the weapons of the squad. Look at this, weapons. You can make them unarmed, axes. You can set, I don't know what the hell. There's two A's. Now there's the left side A and the right side A. Is that some kind of armor thing? Leather chain plate. Buckler shield. Okay, so this is actually the shield on the right and the leather chain plate on the left. There's your number, your numeric position, whatever the hell that is, for whatever purpose. You can have swords. Let's set everybody up with axes if they care to do it. There we go. So that's fantastic. And those can be activated.
Could you even tell them where to go? You couldn't. I know you couldn't tell them to kill anything.
Yeah. So let's activate the squad. We have activated the squad. Now they're all recruits. Everybody's activated. Okay. So how do you interact with the military? Oh shit. Oh god. The help screen's already defeating me. There's no military stuff. Where's the commands? There's no commands. The many menus. Is there anything about military stuff? Military.
Look at the wiki.
Okay, so we've got description, military, unit profiles. Soldiers carry food and water. They have their sleeping things. They're standing down. Unit profiles, soldier preferences. I don't know if you can order them at all. So that's standing orders.
We need Reddit. This is what we used to do for our own game. We'd have to go to Reddit.
You're like causing like classic players to rage out so hard right now, I bet. They're like, what are you doing?
They're all sitting there squatting out, but I'm going to just turn them off because I don't know how to. Now you're all regular people and can go start doing your gerbs again. But yeah, there's probably an orders button, but I don't remember what it is. It's not Shift M, not Shift K, not regular K, Shift anything. I don't know.
I don't think there were orders. I really don't.
So how did you fight? How did you fight? Maybe that's a question everyone was asking in this thing. Is how do I fight? How do I do anything?
I think they just pick up weapons. I don't think you can actually tell them what to do. That was interesting. I think because we were against that, we were like, I don't think you should be able to tell your dwarf. Your dwarves are their own people, and they. I think all you did
into them or something. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I need to get this bridge built, so I don't want to activate the squad again. Let's get this bridge built. Oh, I think it was one more trip. The guy's got to walk all the way to the stone pile. There he is. And no, he's going further. Oh, is he drinking from the water? Look at this. Look at this. Drink. So they drink from the river. They're just drinking from the river because am I out of alcohol? Am I like literally out of alcohol? Oh no. So yes, we have big trouble at this fortress. They're all just drinking from the river. Giardia. That's their main friend now. Just drinking out of the river. Oh man, what a shame. Jobs, all inactive jobs. We finally look at those little O's. So they've carved some little pillars at the front of the fortress. We're having a beautiful fortress, even if it can't do anything else. We have a farm plot that hasn't been built yet, probably because I need to go to somebody like you, Metalsmith, and I need to turn you into a farmer. There you go. Now maybe that farm will finally get built through the curse of VPL. Is this person going to finish the bridge? Oh yeah, this is the. Look at the little pillars being built in the bridge. It's pillar time. Oh, very excruciatingly slow job too. There goes double pillars. How are we gonna get a bridge? How are we gonna get a beautiful bridge? Yes. Oh, and look at that. Look, it did a flood like a line of sight out from the bridge when it built it, so now you can see all the way up the river. And there's beautiful things like this. Look at these little crops. Look at this shrub. There's river shrubs, and there's a completed bridge. So eventually the miner should pick up on the fact that they can keep digging.
It seems like there's not as many enemies in this version. Like I think the water used to have hippos in it, if I remember right.
Oh, there's a zombie alligator. Let's go look at where this. Let's go view the zoom creature. Oh, he's just walking around. There's a zombie alligator right there. Zombie alligator. We embarked on a terrifying biome, and we have a terrifying thing, but we don't know how to send anyone to fight it or anything. Because if it could be done, well, I mean, I don't know. It's miserable. It's a miserable animal. It says it's miserable. Oh, it's because it's hard. It's long. Look, even in the original version, the zombies had rotted out parts. That's great. Its upper spine is damaged. Its brain has brain damage, but just like a brain bruise. It's a bruised brain. for the zombie alligator. It's a little alligator brain. There's someone sleeping in the bed. There it is. I did a thing. I built a. I got a couple doors.
I don't think there's rooms. Like, can you?
Oh, there's
there's
room. Yeah. I think you build a bedroom.
Yeah.
There we go. And now we got a bedroom. We can assign the bed to this Fisher guy that's sleeping in it, the Crafts Dwarf. There we go. We have an assigned bedroom. I think that's fantastic progress. Look at this carved entrance. We got this beautiful carved entrance. That guy's got a door now. Crafts Dwarf sleeping calmly in their room. And we've got a farm. The farm has been built. Look at this farm interface. I can plant plump helmets. I can plant plump helmets in all seasons. Why wouldn't I plant plump helmets all seasons? Plant before mud dries in winter, it tells me. All right. And there must be some kind of issue with my miner right now. I don't know if is he just sleeping? That's a metalsmith, but the miner's probably sleeping too.
You know, like this wasn't perfectly made. You know, you did make him pick up an axe, and he might have dropped his pick. I remember this.
Yeah, is that his pick right there? There's an iron pick on the floor. Yeah, when he went to become a soldier.
Yeah, but I think there was a bug. I think there was a bug that once they dropped their pick, they didn't pick it back up.
No, you better pick it back up. He's sleeping now. He's going to get it. So I think one of the big problems in this version is that sleep times were not staggered for your starting 7. So there was this chill time in the beginning where everyone slept. And you just had to sit there. And that's what we're doing now. Sitting, sleeping, and everyone's tired. The one guy got a bed. Everyone else got the floor. And they're sitting out here on the floor. They're going to have bad thoughts about that. I believe bad thoughts about sleep existed. Oh, in fact, they're already miserable and unhappy. Why are you unhappy, little dwarf? Unhappy lately. Slept in the dirt recently. Caught in the rain recently. Complained of a lack of a well. Complained about the draft. Because we put them in the military. They complained about the draft like our dad. That was put in there for, those reasons. Let's see. She has been satisfied at work lately. Caught in a snowstorm. So they just have their thoughts in this list. Kind of like now, but a lot more messy, I think. But yeah, they're all just sleeping. And we have dreams of building a bridge across the river, but so there's aspects of the game that were quite similar, and some things that are quite different, like the flood especially was quite different. But a lot of the other stuff you can recognize as being in the original version.
Yeah, this is way more complete than I remember it.
Yeah, we did a good job. It's like the first 4 years we were just plugging away at this thing, and got all of the roots in. And we've just been kind of expanding.
Putting in the Z-axis. I remember that was like one of the biggest things because we actually thought it was impossible for a long time. Like when we tried to make RPGs like this, because Drag Slay was was our first RPG or one of our first RPGs, and we wanted to make levels like in the Steam version where you go up and down. But we thought it was impossible because if you were standing on a wall, we had some physics problem. If you were standing on a wall, you couldn't shoot an arrow down. It was a weird problem that didn't make any sense because we ended up doing it anyway. We resisted it for a long time, making Z levels. I think it was for that reason. I don't remember. But I mean, like. The Z levels were a big deal. I know you had lots of problems like with the temperature and stuff like that. Programming it. I'm sure like the pathfinding is probably terrible, but
yeah, no, that was a big problem. So the miners VPL mining setting got turned off. I don't know why. I turned it back on. They picked up their pick, and now they're back to work.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're just drinking at the river. It doesn't look like they're actually mining.
Look at them go. Look at them. That's mining. That's bona fide mining. And I think, like, I don't know. I have no idea what's. Some dwarfologist will have to tell us why their VPL settings got ruined. Maybe it was just something I did by accident. But or maybe it was part of the squad. Like when they joined the squad, did their VPL settings get wiped? I mean, this is going to have all kinds of obscure bugs because it's the very, very, very first version. But I'm gonna see if I can turn off all the rest of these designations, and not the one they're working on because that might be bugged. There, now they should start. Here we go. We can make the chasm. We can make the magma. We can do it. We're champions. Look at this. Look at this miner go.
There haven't been any enemies yet, except for that.
The zombie alligator just chilling. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very early in the game. We don't even have our. Oh, remember the first migrant that comes will come in the summer and it'll be a metalsmith carrying an anvil. It's always the
Oh,
same.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah. The only time- you can't even forge anything until you get the anvil.
Oh, dude's drinking out of the river now, not mining. They gotta get back to work. Get back to work. Oh, I miss using the shift. It's so annoying to have to do it manually, but there we go. Get to that chasm.
Do you
I mean,
remember
they're working
what
at it.
the first public bug report was?
Oh, jeez. The very first bug report.
Or at least in general, like what the community was first like talking about with this like early build, or one of the.
Well, there wasn't much of a community. There was the Slaves to Armagh community. That's why we had to name it Slaves to Armagh Chapter 2 Dwarf Fortress, because we had to transfer our community from a graphic RPG to this thing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a marketing problem.
Yeah, most people went along for the ride actually, because it was the same. Like the thing that appealed to them wasn't the 3D graphics, because we were so horrible at that. No one could have possibly liked that. But it was just the promise of having this.
We had a bunch of modders that created their own creature.
Yeah, Zonk made the bovine. I remember Zonk made the bovine. I think Zonk was probably one of the people that was disappointed we weren't doing 3D anymore. But they went to become some kind of Italian scholar or something. I don't even know if they know about the game anymore. But, oh, what is this? Red diamond mixed with ruby? Mixed with? What the hell is that? Mixed with? Is that an announcement in the current version? It says mixed. Red diamond mixed with ruby. I don't remember that at all. I don't know what's going on. We're making good progress, but yeah, no, it's hard to remember the original errors. I know the big thing that eventually started happening all the time was that Nemesis load error, which we never really fixed. We just kind of moved beyond it by just changing the whole game. But like when those unit files that are offloaded during World Gen get corrupted, your whole game's dead and there's nothing you can do about it. And we've started making it so that it just tries to cope and tries to generate a new unit if the file's corrupted and stuff. So that shouldn't really happen much anymore. But this thing was very precarious. Like one bit goes wrong in this version and you're dead. Your whole world's dead.
Yeah. Can you retire? Like, I'm really wonder what adventure.
I
really wonder.
Yeah, let's go check it out. Because yeah, we're not just gonna go dig to the right. So abandoning the settlement. Settlement's been abandoned. Bye settlement. I think adventure mode might just be about visiting the settlement. Let's go see. Because there weren't towns. We didn't do town maps or anything at this point, did we? Human play now. Elves and dwarves from various civilizations. Let's try human. Let's try the human of Bevelgil, and we can be axe person all the way. Just we love axes. We love dwarves. That's where we're going to visit dwarf sites. Okay, go. It says. It just says go. In what sense? Where the hell am I? It just started me. Is this a human town? There are some humans.
I think this is the version where. We wanted you to adventure in your own cave. Oh no, there's a town. Wait a second.
Yeah, meat. Look, there's meat to buy. Oh, there's the magical chests and the magical barrels. We got rid of the refilling barrels. But I think you go down this road, this central road. I think if you walk off the map, it just tells you where you can visit or so. What the fuck? Sorry, F word, but there's like a whole town. I did not. I thought we were. Was it the pre-release version only where you just got a menu of places to go? Because this is like, I'm traveling. I don't remember this for the first version at all.
No, this is really
advanced. What the fuck? Sorry, I keep saying it, but it's just like, Yeah, this is way more advanced than I thought the first version was. I thought the first version had menu towns and menus to visit. Oh, there's the clouds. You see the clouds coming in? Clouds going across the sky. It had the weather sim? Like, what the hell? It had the weathers. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. It just dropped. Oh fuck. I'm getting killed by a crocodile. Oh no, it's an alligator that ate my. Okay, I was murdered, but I'm not gonna be able to find the fortress anyway because it's the whole world map.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
shit.
originally what it did, I don't know where, like, the older versions must have disappeared because this is not the very first version.
It is the very first version. Those old versions were all pre-release. The ones where you had a menu, you just had a travel menu. No, the people got a very good version on the first release. And here's Legends mode. I've entered Legends mode. And look at Legends mode, it's so stingy because it says sites 1 out of 595. You can't look at anything else until you actually discover it. How rude. Here's the whole fortress. Moth Portals was a mountain fortress. A few issues still trouble scholars, but the picture is fairly clear. In the early spring of 1051, the oaken smooth axe of artificers of the willful long ultra rack founded Moth Portals. The issue that is missing is why it was abandoned, but apparently you don't learn that until you look at an engraving. And
I actually like this better. I think like a more of a game in like more like if Dwarf Fortress is more of a regular game, Legends mode would be something that you would have to unlock as you played. I think should go back to that.
No, that's too much. No, people love it too much. People love looking at their legends. Oh shit! What did I do? No, I don't want to
lose their minds because I feel like that would be the hardest game to complete if that was the case.
Yeah, people. I was trying to embark, but there's only embark locations, right? I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember where my fortress is. So that's on prepare carefully. Oh god, I pressed enter again. This interface sucks. We all know it. I've now embarked and abandoned several fortresses because I'm pressing the wrong keys.
Now originally, before in the pre-release versions of this, what we did was you did start at your fortress. Is what we expected to have this happen before there was a world map. What it would do is just change. It would turn everything 90 degrees to confuse you. So instead of going sideways into the mountain, you would go down, or you're adventuring down into the cave, and that's what I expected to see when we did this. But like, this is really
no, it's too advanced. So what I did is I just embarked a fortress at the bottom of the map, and now I'm just gonna get jumped by wild. Yeah, I just got jumped by a zombie. There's no running, so I can just run away. I think you just run off the edge. Because there's no continuous movement in this game. It's all instanced areas now, I believe. And so I got through oh my god, I keep getting jumped by wolves and shit. But the thing is, there was no speed in this version, so everything moves at the same speed, so I can just run away from most ambushes as long as I don't get surrounded. Oh, but I got surrounded. I was torn to pieces and eaten by wolves. It's going to be impossible to find an old fortress, I think. So, yeah. Well, it was cool though. Yeah, it was cool. It was way more advanced than I thought it was. Very rough around the edges and in the middle and in the rest of it. But that was, I mean, we worked on that very resistantly while we were adding new features over time, and eventually landed at the modern era where you can more easily play the game. Yeah. It was intriguing. People had a lot of fun with that, just messing around with. I mean, it's amazing to me that Boat Murdered even got written, given how rough that is to play. But people stuck with it, and yeah, we're grateful that they did.
Buschlamm raffel und Mama Sirap Gatol.
Must have known Tarn and Zach for about 16 years now. I met him after I made my second game. I sent him an email saying we should go get tacos at this Mexican restaurant nearby because we both lived in the same city back then. And I remember sitting down with him and going, hey, I played Dwarf Fortress. You should add some of my ideas. It would be cool if the dwarfs had waste management. You could collect all the dwarf poop and dwarf pee and make gunpowder out of it. I don't know what you do with the poop crafts, but something like that. My other idea was that you should add a hot rhino man to the game. But as far as I know, they never added either idea.
Hey guys, I'm Greg. I live in New York. This is my beautiful Ugandan wife.
Hey, I'm John.
I first started playing, I got into it because I kept seeing it, and I'm like, yo, this game actually looks pretty dope. Like, and then I started reading into it. And I was like, yo, this is definitely, like, obviously Steam has shown it to me for a reason, you know? So I started looking into it, and I'm like, yo, this actually sounds amazing. And then I started looking into the creators, Zach and Tarn, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know, and like, I've bought indie games before where, like, the creators just give up on the game. So I'm like, you know, I'm so tired of it, you know? But his one introduction video was like, yo, listen, he's like, this is my life. I got my brother with me. Like, we're going to be doing this to the end, dawn of time. I was like, all right, I can stand by this. You know what I mean? So I played
like a
it.
sign.
Yeah, it was like a sign, you know. These developers are in it for the right reasons. Putting Dwarf Fortress on the show, I think it just came down to the fact that, like, it represents a lot of who I am as a person. Like, you know, just, you know, like, at times the game is very easygoing, flowing with, you know, just, you know, you're building this, you're building that, then it gets chaotic, and it gets crazy. It slows down, but it was just, you know, besides that, it was just something I was playing at the moment. But it represents, like I said, a lot of who I am. It's just an awesome game. It's a sim colony game. You don't have to, like, I love watching them. You know, I'll just get on and just watch these guys just run around and do all the crazy shit that they do. Like, you know, yeah, they literally just do. Like, one dude made a book of, like, necromancy, started summoning the zombies and shit in my fortress. I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like, this is crazy, you know? So I feel very immersed when I play Dwarf Fortress. From the cave noises and the little water drips and everything like that you hearing throughout the game, to... It's like I can see myself just sitting there chilling with these dudes, just drinking a brew, you know what I mean? And just like, yo, what's up, my brother? You know, like, I don't know. It's so that I figured that would be the best one, you know?
Hi, this is Tarn Adams from Bay 12 Games, and I'm here with my brother Zach, and we're here to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Dwarf Fortress. And we've decided to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Dwarf Fortress by honoring some of the people that have been a part of the project throughout the years. And this is the Bay 12 Games Beyond Quality Awards. So yeah, let's get started. So the first award we'd like to give out is the Bay 12 Games Beyond Quality Origins Award. So we started like when we were little kids, we would go onto bulletin board systems and download.
Right,
Yeah.
like yeah. Your mom is on the landline, and your computer's making that noise. Yeah, there's you would dial into the university UC Davis, and they had games you could download. I remember, like, what was it, Nuke LA? That was one of them.
Yeah, it would talk about the number of mega deaths and show you a little circle around the different places. And we got some of our early basic games there where we learned how to program by chopping them into little pieces.
Modding them, essentially, yeah.
Yeah. It's just and we also got roguelikes there. We had a thing called a hack unit, which was 200K. It's like it took a half hour or something to download. It was not a fast download. So that was kind of how we spent a lot of our childhood. And it's hard to pick just one.
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one. Yeah, well, I mean, I think like now the award goes to Angband.
Angband.
Angband it is like a descendant of Hack, which is the one that we played as kids. But it's like I think it's the most complete RPG, ASCII RPG, which is what Dwarf Fortress, the style in which Dwarf Fortress is made is way back there in 1986, so another 20 years. 40 years ago.
Yeah, and had the little town that you interacted with up top was always a kind of resonant thing about it. And just going on your little adventures, down, back up, down, back up, find some things on there, all kinds of damage types and cool item system. And the different. I remember playing a bunch of mods for it, like Sangband, the Skilling Band, and Zangband, the Zelazny one. There was Middle Earth ones that that survived all the way up until today. Like Tales of Magial comes from Angband. It's just like there's a huge lineage. Diablo comes from Angband. Like it was really cool. Yeah.
It is a roguelike. It is what original roguelikes that were like Rogue. It was one of those.
Yeah, so that was great. So yeah, we'd like to give out our Origins Award to Angband. Okay.
So next we have this.
Go ahead.
So next we have the Storyteller Award, and this is for someone who helps get the word out and really gives personality and more than just back in the day, more than just ASCII, kind of brings it to life, and that's Krug Smash and the videos that they created.
Yeah, we saw the Gorlak drawing they sent us 8 years ago, and there's the famous Fortress Scorch Fountain. They've had staying power over the years and produced some really memorable work. So we'd like to honor them with this award.
Far beyond quality, the Beyond Quality Awards.
Well, hello, you bearded bastards. Man, if you told me 10 years ago when I uploaded my first Dwarf Fortress video on YouTube that I'd be accepting an award for it someday, I'd say you're out of your mind. What are you talking about? Nonetheless, I'm extremely honored to receive this token. It means a lot. Thank you. I'm just happy to have shown people what this wonderfully unique game, simulation, whatever the hell you want to call it, is capable of. Keep imagining. Keep crafting those stories. Good job, you guys. Here's to the next 20. And until then, you bearded bastards.
Yeah. So, yeah. Congratulations, Krug Smash.
Yes.
Okay. So the next award, Beyond Quality Award, is the Best Roguelike Award. So continuing on from the Origins Award, now we just look through all the roguelikes that have ever existed and decide which one's the best. So the winner is
Caves of Cud.
Caves of Cud.
Caves of Cud is the best roguelike. And it's a recent development, but evolution happens and the survival of the fittest. And I think the pinnacle of roguelikes now is Caves of Cud. It's got it's got a rich sci-fi story to it. That's
beautiful
really
writing. Beautiful writing, beautiful character customization. And it's got that like, you can do all of those things with it. All of those little things. You can modify your body. You can do cybernetic stuff. Get fungal enhancements. It's got procedural dungeons. And it has an incredible atmosphere that's consistent with the kind of Gene Wolfe sort of setting that they've created. And or Gamma World or what have you, many influences, and lovely.
And especially it is another one of those roguelikes that's like Rogue. A lot of roguelikes out there are not like Rogue, but they are, so they get the award. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very wholesome. Very wholesome.
Hello, this is Jason and Brian from Freehold, co-creators of Caves of Cud, and we just wanted to say thank you so much for the Best Roguelike Award from Bay 12. It means a lot to us because Dwarf Fortress was a huge inspiration for us, and you all have been doing it for 20 years now, which is your North Star in the community. And congratulations yourselves.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, we're at least top 20 roguelike, so it's a real honor. Like, I know at least like Dwarf Fortress and Omega are up there, but it's an incredible honor, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good show.
Yes, congratulations to Caves of Cud. So now the next award. It's just a fact that Dwarf Fortress kind of revitalized a certain type of colony sim, made a new sort of colony sim, and a lot of games kind of followed in our wake. And really cool, really good games. All of them have better graphics than we do, and all of them tighter experiences. And better in that way than we are. And so among all those, we'd like to honor the best descendant of Dwarf Fortress, the best dwarf-like, even if they've outgrown the mold, And that winner is
RimWorld.
RimWorld.
RimWorld, it took the Dwarf Fortress experience with, like there's all this inner workings of the dwarf mind and all that, the personalities, the kind of social things that go on between the dwarves. But I think what RimWorld does right is we regularly have 200 dwarves that are all running around getting set on fire, and they have all these emotions, but there's 200 of them, so you never really get attached the same way you do in RimWorld. And I think that's one of the things that we weren't able to capture as well.
There's still fire in RimWorld, so it's all.
Yeah, you still do. Yeah, I remember the first time I played RimWorld during the tutorial. My whole place caught on fire.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's just one of the hazards of the genre.
Hi guys, Tarn and Sylvester here from RimWorld. I want to say thank you for the Best Descendant Award from Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress has always been one of our greatest inspirations making RimWorld, and I owe a lot to it. You guys created something totally crazy, totally unique. No one else would have done it, no one else thought of it, and no one else has topped it in all the important ways. So thank you for the award, and thank you for making that. It's awesome. You guys are awesome.
So congratulations to RimWorld for the Beyond Quality Best Descendant Award. Well earned. Far beyond quality. Excellent game. So the next award is so we've had people help us with tutorials, interviews, all kinds of things to get the word out, to ask us about the future, to let people know what's going on, and to basically evangelize the game and just play the crap out of it. And someone's done that more than anybody else, and that's Blind IRL. So the Inside Scoop Award goes to Blind IRL.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else has done such a job to get the word out like that. Every time we put out a new news item or a development log, Blind IRL is always up there on Twitch and YouTube, like letting the world know. he's also so good at the game. Like he's way better at the game than I am. Yeah, it's like we like throughout the years,
Yeah, and the inside scoop goes both ways because he'll tell us about bugs we didn't know existed, and then we can fix that stuff up. I mean, it's been tremendous. We've met in person a few times, in Seattle, and it's great to have someone like that supporting the game, and one of the reasons we're still around, for sure.
I'm not very good at acceptance speeches. I think I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've had to do this before. From my perspective, I'm just some person on the internet recording videos for YouTube about things that I enjoy. That just ended up being a whole lot of Dwarf Fortress. And honestly, I think I owe everybody at the two teams that are making this thing happen the way it is possible a thank you. Like Kitfox and Bay 12, Zach, Tarn, Tanya, and Alexandra. Thank you very much for allowing me to exist in the periphery, and thanks for responding to my pestery emails for comment and elaboration on patch notes and any kind of information I can get generally. I think I just would like to put out a note to everybody who's aspiring to do something similar to what I do. You can get a lot of things with an email or a DM. Just go ask. Thank you very much for helping me have this position and be where I am today. And thank you very much to those of you who enjoy my work or just simply play Dwarf Fortress.
Okay, so the next Beyond Quality Award. So documentaries in Dwarf Fortress have a long and storied history of people showing up at like one of our houses or apartments or whatever, and then not making anything, but just recording some stuff.
So many. Our story is so weird. Of the development of Dwarf Fortress being kind of a one of the very first crowdsourced video games. And so it is a compelling story, and it has attracted a lot of documentarians that have come to our where we live and have recorded us. It's kind of a weird thing.
The first time was our grandma was interviewed, and it didn't see the light of day. You could probably do it on more than one hand. That's it's out of control.
There's more than a couple weirdos that did the documentaries. Yeah,
only a few.
One of them.
Only a few saw the light of day, and one of them stands out. They came to visit 4 times, which is amazing. They pulled something together, got it done, super professional, and just a nice person overall. That's Danny at NoClip, and NoClip is the winner of the Beyond Quality Moment in Time Award.
Yes.
For the wonderful 4-part documentary series they did on Dwarf Fortress, and came and talked to all the family members and stuff, talked to everybody, and did a great job talking about the history of Dwarf Fortress, and it was really lovely. So all our best to Danny and NoClip.
Hello, my fellow Urists. Thank you so much for this prestigious award. I never thought I would get a Beyond Quality Award from the boys, as much as I got to know them over the past few years. Yes, it was a moment in time. It certainly was. It was a couple of moments in time. Telling the story of the lads, I think was a real privilege to me. Getting to know the game was, but honestly, the coolest thing about working on that Dwarf Fortress story for so long was getting to know the community, the podcasts, the Redditors, the archivists. It's such a remarkable gaming community. I'm so happy for the success of the Steam version, and I'm so happy for the personal success of not just the brothers, but everyone involved. So to Zach and Tarn, thank you so much for this award. To the many people around them supporting them on a daily basis, making all this stuff happen, especially over the past few years, both professionally and personally. Thank you to them as well. I am deeply honored, and please celebrate and enjoy the anniversary as much as I will enjoy receiving this award. I think this is the first award I've ever gotten, and the best one.
Now for the next Beyond Quality Award, even though it's close to being a noble, we're going to have to honor our Outpost liaison now. This is somebody who has been managing our relationship with the Mountain Home for many, many years. The Mountain Home's huge. The Mountain Home has hundreds of thousands of people, maybe at this point. That would be Reddit, the subreddit Dwarf Fortress, and Clinadev, who is running the show over there and has been incredibly patient with us for a very long time. So yeah, the Outpost Liaison Award goes to Clinadev.
It's so many bug reports and like almost like our face of the public in a way, because we get like all of the all the feedback that they get and like have told us about.
Yeah, like brewing storms and things, just like things that could go very wrong that they saw happening over there, and they're like, no, this is not what's going on. It's cool. Things are all right. And we, and then we'd get a heads up and we'd talk to people. And it's just cool. It's great to have someone who supports the game like that and is, in tune with the community over there. All just volunteer work. It's amazing. And
far beyond quality.
Beyond quality. A Beyond Quality Award for Clinadev, the Outpost Liaison Award for this 20th anniversary of Dwarf Fortress goes to Clinadev for everything they've done. So thank you, Clinadev.
This is Eurus Tanya reporting in for Clinodev, and this is his acceptance speech. Hey folks, Clinodev here. I guess I'm getting an award, and I sure do appreciate it, but we all know who the real stars are here. Thank you to all the moderators on the Dwarf Fortress subreddit, especially Paradexus Errant and Fleeting Frames, who were with me from the beginning. Thanks also to all the Kitfox Discord mods and to Anna Putnam, who wisely held out for a paying job, even though I nominated her first for every volunteer position anyone at Kitfox ever asked me about. Thank you to Victoria Tran, who taught me so much, both at Kitfox and Innersloth, among us. Fiona the Opossum Martin, now at Paradox Interactive, Tanya X Short, captain of Kitfox, and Alexandra Orlando for putting up with my nonsense all these years. I still contend expecting the very worst, has an 80% success rate. You just mess up the numbers by listening to me. And of course, the Dwarf Fortress community at large, all my friends in the Future of the Fortress threads, everyone who answers questions in the subreddit questions threads, and all the dedicated folks running DF Hack and the wiki like Roma Voxtrot, Ben Lubar, Lethosaur, Mick002, and Quietist, all powerful names to conjure by. Of course, ultimately, thank you, Tarn and Zach. I worry that I only talk to you when things are very bad, but I must be one of your greatest fans, and I hope to be a friend. Thank you.
Now, the Myth and Magic, is well underway over at Dwarf Fortress. And as we work toward this first release of magical material, we've got to honor the magicians in our community. And that's why we've got the Wizardry Award. The Beyond Quality Wizardry Award goes to
DF Hack.
DF Hack.
Without DF Hack, I don't think we're really a playable game in a way.
I don't think we would have made it. I don't think we would have made it.
No, it's it was a game in the beginning, like with just the ASCII and the keyboard and all that stuff. It was like pretty much you had to be a Linux programmer to really get into it. It was a mess, and DF Hack made this stuff simpler. A lot of the bugs that we never got fixed because there's so many of them. DF Hack would have workarounds for that. It is just a great tool, and it's created by some great people over the years.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, And if you haven't had a look at DF Hack on Steam and you're a little frustrated with how the game is, they're still there. They're still going. They have a Steam add-on that works with the Steam version, and you can just grab it, and maybe it's what you're looking for. So all of the honor to DF Hack for the and the Beyond Quality Wizardry Award for all that they've done, all the amazing things that they're capable of doing that we don't have the first clue how you hack a video game and do an exe editing and stuff. So it's just amazing to us. And yeah, so thanks to them for all the work they've done over the years.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kelly Kincaid, a software developer better known in this community as Rome of Oxtrot, and I am currently the acting lead developer of the DF Hack team, accepting this award on behalf of the team. Unfortunately, none of us are available to participate in this event, so I'm authorizing Alexandra to read this statement on our behalf. DF Hack has had over 200 individual contributors over the past 17 years and continues to be a community project, as all great software products are. I personally started contributing to DF Hack in 2012, not long after discovering Dwarf Fortress itself in 2011. Became a core team in 2022 and acting lead developer in 2025. I am also looking to scale back my involvement in order to move on to other pursuits, and I'm looking for someone to take over all or part of the lead role. So if anyone listening is interested, please reach out to me via our Discord. Thanks for making the game, and thanks for being willing to collaborate with us in the past. I hope this collaboration continues as both projects continue to evolve in the years to come.
Beyond quality.
Beyond quality. Yet again. Okay, so we have some fun with the last one here. This is the final Beyond Quality Award in this 20th anniversary celebration. We thought we'd just honor one of our games that we play that has gone a bit under the radar. The hidden gems, they call them, right? So this is the Beyond Quality Hidden Gem Award, and this one goes to
Shadows of the Forbidden Gods.
Shadows of the Forbidden Gods.
This is a game that was also created by an indie programmer, working by themselves, kind of like we did, and it's just a really amazing game and really compelling. Both me and Tarn have hours and hours into it. It's a game about kind of a Cthulhu-esque game where you are playing the bad guys trying to bring the Forbidden God back to the world and destroy it, which is, our game was Slaves to Armok, God of Blood, Chapter 2, Dwarf Fortress, before it became just Dwarf Fortress, because we love romanticizing destruction, and this is just a great game along those lines.
Yeah, it was great to see it all come together, because we've always been talking about this myth magic stuff and that kind of thing, and have been working for many, many years to try and make our world compelling. And it was nice to see that if you control your scope a little bit, which we have failed to do, you can do it. I mean, it can be done. It's really neat how they have, essentially what are historical figures in Dwarf Fortress. They've got all of these moving parts in what is a pure simulation of a world, and it delivers. I mean,
it delivers. It's like we like to call ourselves a generic fantasy world generator, and this is Shadows of the Forbidden Gods is a simulation of a fantasy world that's being haunted by your evil ways.
Yeah, you want people to come to the mountain to be devoured. They can come to your mountain and be devoured, eat your forbidden fruit, and be eaten by your giant snake.
Yeah, you got the heroes. Yeah, the heroes are coming together to stop you, and they're all having little adventures while you're having your evil adventures. And it's a really great game.
Yeah, no, time to kill the chosen one yet again. Yes. We'd like to thank all of the recipients for the part that they've played in the Dwarf Fortress story over the last couple decades. And we're still here. We're still working. And we will continue to make Dwarf Fortress while you all continue to be amazing, and the world is a better place for it.
And stay beyond quality, far beyond.
That's right, far
Yes.
beyond quality, just like us.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.
Wow, what an amazing show that was. Thank you for joining us for such an incredible 20th anniversary celebration. It's not every day you have one of these.
Nope, not. Hopefully, maybe in another 20 years. I mean, 2046. I don't know what's going to be going on, but probably some Dwarf Fortress.
By then, the guns will finally have made it into Dwarf Fortress, or maybe the boats.
Boats.
Yes,
boats. I'm aiming for boats for 2046.
Yes.
Blah. I feel a beard up my nose and in my mouth.
No.
Blah.
Just this is the problem.
I'm gonna go for neck beard.
When you're
this is the look. No.
Excellent. I love it. New Dwarven style. But we're really excited because we've also got a lot more news to come. This is not the end of exciting things to happen this year. We're going to have some exciting myth and magic news at the end of this month in August. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
And right now the game is on sale. So it's a good time to buy it for your friends, for your families. Maybe get a Steam account for your dog if they're really into Dwarf Fortress. Good idea. And we have all the different kinds of merch that you could buy for yourself for a Christmas present, too.
Yeah.
It's just around the corner.
We've got the 20th anniversary special edition from Serenity Forge. We have vinyls for sale if you're really into the Dwarf Fortress soundtrack. There's all the Fangamer merch out there if you want this lovely t-shirt or other things. It's all available.
Thank you so much for joining us and for watching. And we hope you and your jurists have an excellent rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.